Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now, your #1 source for tips, tricks, and everything you need to know for fantasy Premier League football. Today we're going to be going over some transfer targets ahead of Game Week 16, so if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. It really helps out. Let's try and hit 35 likes. Leave a comment with any players that are on the top of your transfer list. Subscribe if you're brand new. We're so close to 1,000 subs. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we're going to continue with the layout of the last transfer targets video, where I just have a bunch of different players on the screen, and then I'm going to go through who you should buy, sell, and hold. Now, of course, this is not a wildcard draft at all. As you can see, there's 4 City players on the screen right now. So this is just going to be going over all of these individual players and whether you should be bringing them in or selling them. So, starting things off, we obviously have the goalkeepers. So we have De Gea as a player that you should think about bringing in, and then we have Sanchez, who is a player you should think about holding or selling. It's going to be a different situation for everyone, but basically, if you're living under a rock, you may not have heard that there is a COVID outbreak at the Spurs camp. I think 7 first-team players have got COVID, and then I think 2 backroom staff have also got positive results. So that might mean that the Brighton Spurs game could be called off, because I think that Brighton have like 8 players that are like injured or suspended or something like that. So it's in their best interest as well for the game not to go ahead. Now, again, you could say it's unfair because I think Arsenal had to play at the start of the season even though they had a bit of a COVID outbreak. Look, I don't know. I'm just going over what I've seen on Twitter and stuff. But yeah, the Spurs-Brighton game may not go ahead. Now, they still have to play like their Thursday fixture in the Europa Conference League, because I don't think they can get out of that. But they might just have to field like a bunch of like young players. But yeah, the Brighton-Spurs game may be off. So that means that all Brighton players, all Spurs players will not be playing in Game Week 16. That will have to be postponed and will have to be played at a later date. So if you don't have a backup keeper and you have Sanchez, then you're obviously going to only have 10 players this week, which is a bit of a problem because it's never fun having 10 players. So the situation with this is, because I'm in the same one, I've got Sanchez and Steele. I've already used my transfer this week, so what I'm thinking of doing is just bringing in De Gea. So because Sanchez, let's just say that the game's called off. Let's just talk about the fact that the game is called off at this point. So you're going to have 10 players. So if you bring in De Gea for a hit or any other keeper for a hit, you've got to think that it's basically just a -2, because Sanchez would have been getting you 0 points in Game Week 16 if he doesn't play. And if you're taking a -4 hit, then you're bringing in a keeper. If they don't get a clean sheet, they just get a normal 2 points. It's only a -2 hit, plus you get to change your keeper into someone that's going to have a really good set of fixtures. Let's just, in this case, take De Gea. So De Gea obviously has some really nice fixtures. Over the next 5, he has Norwich, he has Brentford, he then has Brighton, he then has Newcastle, and then he has Burnley. So that's 5 really, really nice fixtures. So let's just say you take a hit this week, you take out Sanchez, bring in De Gea, and you take like a -2. Let's just say they don't keep a clean sheet against Norwich, and then you've got the -2 there. But that's fair enough, because then you have a good keeper for all of these really, really nice upcoming fixtures, where if you keep Sanchez, you'll have Wolves, United, Brentford, Chelsea, which obviously isn't as good as De Gea's fixtures. Plus, United looked really, really solid against Crystal Palace, and as well as that, De Gea's got Norwich. So if you're going to bring in a player for a -4, you kind of want to bring him in on one of the best fixtures of the season, which is Norwich. Plus, if De Gea keeps a clean sheet, you actually get a +2 with any other like save bonuses or bonus points or anything like that. So I'm very much on the cards of bringing De Gea in if if the game doesn't go ahead, because I'm not really a massive fan of having Sanchez at the moment. Like, they've not got the greatest fixtures coming up. Like, he has been playing well, but as you can see, 0-8-4-3. Like, it's not been bad. It's just, I don't really want to field 10 players and then also have him back for Wolves, which he probably won't keep a clean sheet. He's probably not going to keep a clean sheet against United. Brentford maybe, but then Chelsea. Whereas I could see De Gea keeping a clean sheet against Norwich, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley. So yeah, I mean, again, you could bring in any other players like Ramsdale. I think he's got Southampton this week. But I think for me, De Gea is the standout option. But that's only if you have Sanchez. But yeah, if you're thinking of bringing in a keeper this week, I mean, De Gea is a really, really good option regardless if you are in a wildcard draft or anything like that. Anyway, spoke a lot about keepers for whatever reason. Let's talk about defenders. So Soufal is definitely a player you should think about bringing in. Johnson seems to be injured now. He's got a hamstring injury, so he's basically out of the team. We don't know for how long, but Soufal is a player you could bring in ahead of this really, really nice fixture run. Burnley, then obviously Arsenal, not the greatest, but then he has Norwich, Southampton, and Watford. So really, really nice fixtures there. Again, he's in the team. Cresswell's still out. Johnson's still out. I think they've got a couple centre-backs out as well. So, yeah, West Ham are really struggling with defensive players they can bring in at the moment. But yeah, Sufal is pretty much nailed at the moment. So ahead of that really, really nice fixture run, I think he's a nice little player to bring in. If you are looking for a little bit of a diffie, he is only 4.7. So yeah, I think he is a player that you should think about bringing in. And then we got James as well, who is a player that I think you should also think about bringing in. He's got Leeds next, and then Everton, Wolves, Villa, Brighton. Again, you might have been unlucky and brought him in like around game week 13 where he got 1 point, then he got 2 zeros back to back. It's really unfortunate, but I think with Leeds, then Everton, then Wolves, I think that could definitely have some attacking turn potential there. Maybe some clean sheets as well. We then have Trent as well. Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Leeds, and Leicester. Again, we don't know if the Tottenham game is going to be called off there. That's in a few weeks though, so that might be a little bit better, but yeah, that's going to be really, really bad if that game does get called off, because a lot of players do have 3 Liverpool players. They have Jota, Trent, and Salah, and especially as well if you've got Son or someone like that, that's really, really bad. So yeah, hopefully that fixture does not get postponed, but the Leicester one most likely will be as well, because again, it's like 10 days isolation or something like that. So yeah, if you've got any Leicester players, again, you can keep them for this week because they've got a really nice fixture against Newcastle at home, but then the week after, you might have to think about taking them out. And then Cancelo and Diaz, 2 players you should think about bringing in as well. Again, really, really nice fixture run coming up. Cancelo didn't play, Diaz didn't play in the Champions League, so they've been rested, so they should be playing against Wolves, but then again, they have Leeds, Newcastle, Leicester, and Brentford as well, so some really, really nice fixtures for those 2. Again, Diaz, a little bit more nailed than your other kind of players. Cancelo, very, very nailed at the moment, but Diaz has missed the game, I think. Did he miss the Everton game, or did he just, I don't know if he missed the Everton game or he just got like no points. Did he play any? No, he didn't. He just missed the Everton game. Okay, but Diaz doesn't usually get benched. Yeah, 2 centre backs there. Well, right back, left back, whatever you want to call Cancelo at this point. And then Diaz, 2 players you should be thinking about bringing in as well. Rafinha is a player that I would probably think about getting rid of right now. It pained me to get rid of him. I've got rid of him for Bernardo Silva this week. He obviously has been helping me out quite a bit over the last few game weeks. He got 9, 0, 3, 8, 5. But this fixture run of Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa just isn't that good. Again, you could hold him if you really wanted to, if you had other problems in your team. But it's not like they're even at home. Like, they literally have Chelsea away, City away, Arsenal at home, which again you could play him against, but then he has Liverpool away as well. So that's literally the 3 worst fixtures you could have throughout the season in the next 4 game weeks. So if you want to keep him, absolutely fine. If you do have other problems in your team, like maybe you have a Son that you need to get rid of, that sounded weird, maybe you have Son that you need to get rid of, or Kane you need to get rid of, or something like that, and in that case, yeah, just hold Rafinha if you don't want to take a hit. But yeah, I think Rafinha is a player like you should, if you're not holding, then definitely think about selling. I don't really think that you should be buying him at all, but yeah, maybe think about selling him at this point. We then have Son. Again, he's been playing really well, 8 and then 13. But again, with this COVID outbreak, apparently Son is one of the players to have COVID as well, if sources are correct. So that means he's going to be missing the Brighton game. He's probably going to be missing the Leicester game. Might be back for Liverpool, but then that's not exactly a fixture you want to be back for, is it? So, yeah, of course, after that, he has Crystal Palace, Southampton. But for the next 3, as a player is that expensive, like you could easily downgrade to the likes of Bernardo, Jota, Foden if he's okay. The reason Foden's not on this kind of list is because he was taken off with a little ankle injury. It was more of a precaution, but again, we'll have to wait for press conference for that. Again, don't make any transfers until after the press conference. The only reason I did it was to make moves for like money and stuff like that. But yeah, Son, I mean, again, if you know if he, it doesn't even matter if the game's on because he is apparently one of the players with COVID. So again, that is just something you should probably think about. Again, we'll wait for the press conference. We'll wait for more information about whether the game is postponed, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Jota, again, didn't play in the Champions. I don't even think he travelled with the Champions League fixture last night. So yeah, Villa, Newcastle, again, just a player that you should be thinking about bringing in at this point. You know, he's gone up to like 8 mil now, I think. Of course, Mr. Sitter against Wolves, but again, he is starting every single game with Firmino out. Then you've got AFCON coming up. It is what it is. And then Bernardo and Gundogan, again, 2 players you should probably think about bringing in. Like Bernardo more so than Gundogan. It's just Foden's out at this point. Grealish isn't exactly playing well. De Bruyne, I mean, I watched him last night. He played okay. A couple of interesting passes, though. Free kicks weren't great. Yeah, I mean, Gundogan, I think, is a little bit more nailed than the other players because you've got Jesus out as well. Bernardo Silva, let's just say he plays every single game because, again, he is pretty much nailed at the moment. He's played so many minutes this season. Like, who else is going to play? Again, it might be Foden, but he's out with potentially another injury. Is it going to be Grealish? Is it going to be Gundogan? I mean, I think Gundogan is a little bit more nailed than other players, basically. So again, another player you should be thinking about bringing in. Next up, we have Ronaldo again. Ronaldo again, instead of the likes of Vardy or Kane or anything like that. He's a little bit of a better option. Again, they've got Norwich coming up, and then again, just a really, really nice fixture, and just as I've been over with De Gea. So yeah, he's a little bit more expensive. We don't know if he's on pens or not, but again, really, really nice player. If you do have like Kane or someone and you want to get rid of him, he's a really easy player to get into because Ronaldo is only 0.2 more. He's probably going to have a price rise at some point soon. But yeah, I would love to own Ronaldo at this point because there's not really that many attacking United players that are kind of nailed. But again, if he plays in the Champions League midweek, then he might get rested at the weekend because Norwich is a very easy game. So yeah, Ralph might be like, I don't need to rest. I don't need to play Ronaldo for this game. So we'll see what happens there. Antonio, if you've held him for this long, congratulations. You have a really nice fixture run coming up of Burnley, Arsenal, Norwich, Southampton, and Watford. It's just a really, really nice fixture run. Hopefully Antonio does start getting some more returns. Again, he got an assist in the last game week, so hopefully that carries on. Again, a player you should be thinking about bringing in if you don't already. Again, you could downgrade the likes of Kane, Vardy, someone like that into an Antonio. And then Kane, again, another player you should be thinking about getting rid of just for exactly the same reasons as Son. Games might be called off. I don't know if he is one of the players that has tested positive. Again, we don't know the players that have tested positive. It's just going off like sources and stuff. And apparently Son is one of the players. I don't know about Kane though, but again, it could be called off regardless. So yeah, if you do own Kane, I mean, he's not exactly been in form anyway. He's definitely a player that you want to get rid of. And I think Ronaldo is someone you could definitely bring in for him if you do have the likes of Kane in your team. But anyway, that is going to be everything for today's transfer tips video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, let me know if you like this layout more than the previous one. It's just like the previous one was good because obviously I could get like stats and stuff like XG, XA, everything like that, and points per game or whatever. But I think with this one I can just go over a lot more players you could be thinking about bringing in, whereas in the other video I only went over like 4 or 5, but this allows me to go over like 14 players. So yeah, again, well, 15 players should I say. But yeah, again, let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you for watching though. Leave a like, leave a comment, who you thinking of bringing in this week. Subscribe if you're brand new. That's everything from me though. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.